For the latest on this and to give us a full view, SABC News correspondent Nick Harper joins us from Washington, D.C. Nick, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Nick, I want to start here. Trump seems to be in good spirits. He was seen coming down from the Air Force One aircraft after a flight. What do we know about the latest about his whereabouts and his well-being?
Yeah, good afternoon, Oliver. What we know at the moment is that he's in the state of New Jersey at his golf course in Bedminster. He has a residence there, and that is where he went to last night. He was seen by doctors at a hospital in Pennsylvania just after the shooting, but he then flew to the neighbouring state of New Jersey, and that's where he is this Sunday. We're told that he is still in good spirits. He has been posting on social media this morning. Just a little earlier, he said that it is the moment when the Americans should stand united to remain strong and determined and not allow evil to win. He has also confirmed that he still fully intends to attend the national convention taking place in the state of Wisconsin from Monday to Thursday this week. That's the 4-day Republican event where we will see him formally becoming the nominee of the Republican Party to take on Joe Biden in November's election. He says that he is looking forward to attending, so no sense that he is intending to scale back any of his future engagements.
Yeah, we know that Joe Biden and Donald Trump were telephonically engaged after the shooting. Joe Biden sending his well wishes to Donald Trump, and shortly thereafter also tweeting that political violence has no place in the American democracy. Is the American democracy so far divided? Is that the sentiment that you get from rally goers, that it has gotten to a point of shootings, taking us back to 1981, that Ronald Reagan assassination, of course, ringing very fresh in our memories?
That's right, yeah. It's 43 years since there was an attempt on a sitting president's life. That happened here in Washington, D.C. on Ronald Reagan. He survived that attempt, but we have now seen a new assassination attempt taking place on a former president and someone who is running for this year's election. Quite incredible to see those scenes unfold. But you mentioned that division, that political division in the United States, which has really been in place for several years during the last couple of campaign cycles here in the US. That division, I guess, culminating in some respects on that attack on the US Capitol on January the 6th, 2021, where we see Donald Trump's supporters attack the Capitol building to try and overturn the result of the 2020 election. That division has persisted during Joe Biden's now 3.5 years in office. But I guess what we're seeing this morning from both sides of the political aisle, the Democrats and Republicans, all of them coming out saying, although there is division, we need to find a way to unite. Both sides saying that temperature needs to come down here in the US, that the rhetoric that we've seen in recent months, in recent years, needs to be dialed back. A concerted effort by both sides to try and do that, to find that unity. I guess it's really a question whether Americans out there on both sides of the political divide are able to do that in the coming months during what is already a highly charged time, less than 4 months before November's election. But now with an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, there is that concern that division that's already in place could only be exacerbated.
Yeah, rally goers and eyewitnesses say they have seen Thomas Matthew Crooks go from roof to roof around the area where the rally had taken place, and that they had signaled to domestic police at least that they are witnessing unusual activity. Snipers on some of the roofs have already also been seen to have spotted Thomas Matthew Crooks well before the shooting have taken place. What more do we have from the FBI about the activity that took place and why this could not have been prevented a lot sooner?
Well, that's right. Some very significant questions now being asked of the Secret Service to try and determine what went wrong during the course of that rally. There is that FBI-led investigation, the Secret Service are part of it. We're also seeing Homeland Security, the agency that looks after Homeland Security, getting involved in that, trying to get to the bottom of all of these things, because the Secret Service has one primary job, and that is to keep presidential candidates or sitting presidents or former presidents safe at all times. And that obviously didn't take place. As you say, we know from videos that bystanders were trying to signal to authorities that they had seen Matthew Crooks on that rooftop with the gun. But there are also questions as how he was even able to get to the rooftop, about 120, 150 metres away from the president, and fire off those shots. That is an area that would have been under intense scrutiny. There would have been a security perimeter around it. There would have been a security assessment taken ahead of Donald Trump arriving, an assessment that in theory would have been taken by the Secret Service. They would have looked at all potential threats, and yet, as we saw unfold, a gunman was able to get onto the roof and fire those shots at the former president. That is now being investigated. We also know that Republicans up on Capitol Hill are calling the head of Secret Service to testify at a special hearing in about a week and a half's time on July the 22nd. They're furious. They want to find out what went wrong, how the agency that was meant to look after Donald Trump got it so spectacularly wrong.
Yeah, Matthew Crooks, he's 20 years old. He's known to be a registered Republican voter and supporter, but he's also known to have donated to various democratic causes. FBI surrounded his family home shortly after this killing, his father having given answers that he doesn't know much about the motive and would at least like to speak to law enforcement. What more do we know about the suspect at this moment?
Yeah, we're waiting for an update which will take place at some point later today, we expect, from law enforcement authorities to give us some sort of update on the investigation. Not a great deal is known about this 20-year-old. We know that he graduated from a high school a couple of years ago. As you said, we know that he was a registered Republican but gave to other political causes in the past as well. It's being reported that he lived in a middle-class area. His father's trying to find out some more information. It also seems that he didn't have much of a digital footprint. He didn't post very regularly on social media, because of that, of course, is an area that the FBI will be looking into to see if he made statements or suggestions in the past that may have pointed or red flagged the shooting or the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. They'll be looking into all of that, looking into any potential accomplices, although at this time they are suggesting that he acted alone, that there is no ongoing threat. Those are all things that need to be determined. But of course, the big one is motive, and that is something that is not known at this stage. The FBI and other law enforcement saying, quite simply, they don't know what motivated this 20-year-old to try and kill the former president.
Yeah. Nick Harper, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.